Coconuts are quite the plant. Its oil can be used for a variety of cooking and beauty purposes. Its water is extra hydrating and its pith can be used to grow new plants. Imitating nature's way of letting nothing go to waste, materials researchers turned entrepreneurs are using the long-forgotten coconut husk to manufacture an impressive portfolio of environmentally friendly products. Based in Kikambala, Kilifi County, we meet one such entrepreneur. 40-year-old Said Twahir is a local leader and a man who is devoted to turning agricultural waste into clean energy.
When we were looking for a business to do and we were doing our research, we wanted to make coconut oil, but we discovered that coconut oil was cheaper to import than to make locally. So we just chanced on an internet article that explained how to make charcoal briquettes from coconut shells. And that's where the journey began. We first got a small local machine which we bought for 15,000, and we started making briquettes in a residential area. But we got thrown out because we were making too much noise. So we decided to move to our farm in Kikambala, which is 3 acres, where we could have enough space and with no complaints from neighbors. From then, we built the factory, which took about 3 to 6 months, and brought in our machines from China, which we installed at the new factory.
Said is keen on impacting the community around. As he shows us around, he tells us about the training he has carried out with the women groups across the coastal region to prepare the coconut husk and shell to bring to this 3-acre piece of land for processing. The women bring the coconut husk and the shell for a decent payday.
The first process is collecting the raw material. We collect the coconut shell from households and from farms in Kilifi, Kwale and Kaloleni areas. We normally train women groups to carbonize the coconut shell at farm level so that we can transport it to the factory when it's already processed, which also adds value to the coconut shell as the farmers get an extra income from processing the coconut shell for us.
After the coconut husk and shells have been assembled, it is now time for Said's team to sift through in preparation for carbonization.
Carbonization is the process where you burn the biomass, but in the absence of oxygen. So you have to build what they call a carbonization kiln, which you can seal after you light the biomass. As soon as it starts combustion, you can seal it so that oxygen doesn't burn it into an ash. What you will get as an end product is coconut shell char. We collect the biomass as it becomes available. So we have collecting centers in different areas where when it's enough for us to send a truck to go and collect, we have no specific day, but it's an ongoing process.
When the charcoal char comes in, there are a number of things that Said and his team have to look out for before processing. One such thing is metals that may be mixed in.
We have to remove the debris. It usually has stones and nails, which we require removal so that they do not damage the moving parts of the machine. For the coconut shell, it's ready for using, but we have to crush it into a powder. So we have a machine called a mill hammer, specifically to crush the coconut shell char into a finer powder.
To prepare proper coconut briquettes, this charcoal char and the coconut waste have to be bonded by a special agent. This is to ensure that the final product, the coconut briquette, does not fall into pieces upon use or touch.
For char to bind together, we need a binder. We use industrial starch, which binds the briquettes very well and makes them even more dense. There are different binders. Some people use gum arabica, some people use molasses. We tried all of them, and we found that cornstarch is the best binder for domestic briquettes because they have no smell, they have no offensive smell.
After the bonding agent is ready, these women will pick up the large sufuria and put it in a mixing chamber. In the mixing chamber, the charcoal char and coconut waste is waiting for the cornstarch mixture.
We mix all the raw materials together with the starch in a mixer which is specially designed to mix coconut char.
What makes this all come together is the charcoal extruder. The extruder is designed and manufactured to make a small size of 20 mm diameter and produce 6 charcoal briquettes at a time. The case and parts of the extruder are made from sheet metals and angle iron. To support the person while working with the extruder, flywheel made of concrete and sheet metal steel is added at the free end of the extruder.
After we mix all our raw material, we open the hatch and pour the mixture into the wheelbarrow. From the wheelbarrow, we move it to the charcoal extruder. The charcoal extruder is a special machine that extrudes charcoal briquettes. The extruder has a capacity of 100 kilos every half an hour. We have big extruders, but right now we're using an extruder only with that capacity.
Behind closed doors and windows, many Kenyan families huddle around a jiko when sweaters, jackets and socks are not warm enough. Many times, charcoal is what takes the precedence in the jiko. Research shows that 2.4 million tons of charcoal are traded in Kenya annually, with over 80% of it in urban areas. Drawing people from this notion of using charcoal was an uphill task that Said would come to realize early on his startup business.
Over the months, the challenges we were facing were lack of awareness about charcoal briquettes. Everyone was still using kerosene and wood charcoal. In the rural areas, they were all using firewood. So introducing them to a new product was a big challenge for us. But eventually, we managed to break through, and some of the hotels in the North Coast and South Coast were our biggest supporters. The process of producing charcoal briquettes compresses the raw material to make it harder than the normal wood charcoal. So the briquettes last longer, and because they burn better, there is no smoke. They're smokeless, and they have high energy, a high calorific value, as they call it.
Briquette's quality is one of the most significant factors that influences the burning of briquettes. It is therefore crucial that Said and his team ensure and maintain the highest production standards. The three factors that Said checks for is calorific value, density and resistance to humidity. Calorific value means the amount of energy contained in a fuel source. In Said's case, the higher the calorific value of the coconut briquette, the easier and the better they will be burned. This means that the customer at the end of the day will not find trouble lighting the briquettes for use. Density refers to the mass or solidness of the substance. The higher the density of the coconut briquet, the longer burning time it has and the more it can release heat. Resistance to humidity goes without much explanation. During the short and long rains, Said's team needs to ensure that the briquets are not damaged or crumble too quickly if water or moisture is released to them.
We ensure our briquettes of the highest standard by using the highest quality raw materials. Our starch is imported from Pakistan, and our coconut shell is sifted and sorted before we put it in the mixer to extrude our charcoal briquettes.
After a few years in this business, Said figured out a solution to one of his biggest challenges: rainy and unpredictable weather. Although Kilifi is well known for having a tropical climate, there are instances where the rain would be too much, posing a challenge to the drying rate of the briquets. In these times, Said would need to ask for more patience from his customers, which did not come easy at times.
Which is where we are right now. We built shelves from the charcoal extruder. We carry the briquettes in trays to the drying shed. Our drying shed is similar to a greenhouse, so the temperature during the hot season is almost unbearable. And during the cold season, we still have some warmth inside to dry the briquettes a little faster than if they were outside in the cold.